Good evening, weary travelers, to another episode of Dead by Midnight, your number one source for easy listening killer videos. Feel free to chill while they kill, and thank you for watching. Joining us tonight is the Wraith. The Wraith is classified as a stealth killer. Using his wailing bell, he is able to render himself invisible, allowing him to sneak upon his prey and strike with little warning. Upon hearing the bell's fateful chime, survivors must think fast or suffer the consequences. His invisibility allows him to focus on tracking survivors, making it easier to catch and down them. Without any further ado, let's take a look at tonight's build. Sloppy Butcher. When a survivor is injured by a basic attack, they take 25% longer to heal, and if they are interrupted while healing, they lose all progress. Nurse's Calling. Any survivor healing within a 28-meter range will have their auras revealed. Barbecue and Chili. After hooking a survivor, any survivors that are 40 meters or farther from the hook will have their auras revealed for 4 seconds. Make your choice. If a survivor is unhooked while you are more than 32 meters away, the rescuer will be exposed for 60 seconds. Here we are at the shattered square at the decimated Borgo. I want to make it clear that we are using the add-on, the Bone Clapper. It makes it to where survivors are unable to discern the distance or the direction of the wailing bell. I make this known because it comes into play multiple times throughout this episode. There's a generator being worked on over here as we come upon an unsuspecting Vittorio, and we're going to go ahead and pluck him right off of the gen. As the Vittorio's picked up, a Yunjin is trying to sabotage the hook, so let's pretend to head off so that she stops working on it, and then we'll double back. It managed to trick her, so time to go and put Vittorio on his first hook right after we get a free hit on Yunjin. Let's take a step back knowing Yunjin is planning for an early save, and then take advantage of this opportunity to down her. That was a risky save ending in a trade-off, making this her first hook as well. Now with her securely on the hook, it's time to cloak ourselves and head into the map to find out what that sound notification was. Noticing Thalita trying to go for the save, time to intercept her by moving outwards and attempting to cut her off. Successfully doing so, time to uncloak and start this chase in earnest by using our speed boost to get our first hit on her. As we chase her towards the killer shack, she leaps through the window, and Nia makes her presence known to us as we walk through the door, causing her to jump through the window too. At this point, let's change targets since Nia is heading towards our side. With Nia running without using many obstacles, this should be an easy down. Let's go ahead and scoop her up and put Nia on her first hook. Hello again, Thalita. Since she really wants our attention, it's time to focus on her. Let's try to get her to commit to this loop. By going left here instead of going for the pallet, it costs her. Now that that chase is taken care of, let's pick her up and put her on the inaugural hook of the game. There you go. Now, who's next? And here we see Nurse's Calling taking effect with Nia, and Sloppy Butcher making her lose all healing progress. Now time to uncloak and catch up to her using this burst of speed. She seems to have lost track of where we were, allowing us to conveniently down her with little hassle next to a hook. There you go. Now, let's move back towards Thalita since someone just unhooked her. Why hello, Vittorio. It seems that respecting the pallet allowed him to gain a little more distance on us, but since there's not many obstacles for him to use in this chase, we should be able to easily catch up to him landing our first hit. Since he decided to drop this pallet, it's a good idea to break it so that he cannot abuse this loop. With him pinned against the wall, our second hit means his second hook. With him hooked, Barbecue and Chili shows that there is somebody working on a generator and somebody running away. One is possibly going for the save as this generator gets completed, and we're going to let them so that we can possibly get Make Your Choice value. It appears that this survivor is Yunjin Lee, so we're going to uncloak, get our speed boost, and land a hit. Unfortunately, this chase led us right back to Vittoria's hook, so we do not get the make your choice value. But since we down her nearby, we should be able to place her on the hook that he was just rescued from. We just saw Vittoria walking along the wall, so we're going to go ahead and pursue him as we see another survivor run off in the distance thanks to barbecue and chili. We're keeping him pinned against the wall so that he cannot use any obstacles in this chase, and it seems like he might not be looking behind him when he runs. After 2 hits in succession, let's try to put Vittorio on his 3rd and final hook. At least it would have been, but fortunately for Vittorio, he didn't go down near any hooks. There are basement hooks, but between his boilover and another survivor's flashlight nearby, the attempt would have been futile. Really good job on the escape, Vittorio. Now, let's deal with Thalita and her flashlight. Thalita seems to be making the majority of the unhooks today, so she should be afflicted by make your choice. Let's put this flashlight fanatic on her 2nd hook. And as we turn around, we see an injured Yunjin. Let's go ahead and get her out of the game. As we go to put Yunjin on our hook and achieve our first kill of the game, the 3rd generator gets completed. Assuming someone's going to go for the same, we're going to head back towards Thalita. It seems Nia went for the unhook, and Thalita's trying to go for the body block, but we're just going to circumvent her and keep chasing after the Nia anyway. After our first hit, she drops the pallet and we just go around it, walking directly towards her and downing her. We're now going to pick her up and put her on her 3rd and final hook, killing her on the exact same hook that she just saved Thalita from. How poetic. Turning ourselves invisible and walking around, we notice an injured Vittorio just roaming around the arena, so let's uncloak, hit him, and put him out of his misery. Thalita just healed herself up, so it's going to make the hunt for the hatch a little bit more interesting. Or at least it was until she tried to get one last flashlight save. The altruism is admirable, but with putting the Tornad's final hook, we now know the general location of where she is, so we can start heading in that direction towards her. Lucky for us, we managed to spot her before she can find the hatch, so let's uncloak, that way we can begin this final chase in earnest. We missed our first shot, but we were able to land the 2nd, sending her off into the distance. There aren't many pallets left, so now all we have to do is chase her down before she finds the hatch. As she tries to dodge, we manage to land the final blow. Here you go, Thalita, and good luck on your future flashlight endeavors. In this match, we tried to avoid hooking someone twice in a row. Therefore, by the time it came to someone getting their first death hook, it was pretty much a domino effect and the game started falling apart. At least for the survivors it did. Those were good chases on everybody's part. Let's go ahead and move on to the next match. For the next match, our build is going to pretty much stay the same, except this time, we're going to swap out Make Your Choice since we didn't get much value out of it, for Scourge Hook, Floods of Rage. Whenever a survivor is placed on a Scourge Hook, all survivors' auras are revealed for 7 seconds. Our next match takes us to the treatment theater at Leary's Memorial Institute, also known as the Land of Windows. This map is very good for the Bone Clapper, so let's see how much use we can get out of it this match. To start off, let's head to the furthest generator on the map to see if we can't find anybody. Here we notice scratch marks and a Steven working on a generator, so using the effect of the clapper, we're gonna head off to the side, uncloak, and then pluck him right off of the gen. With the Scourge Hook straight ahead, it's preferable to just cross the distance. With this map being so large, we can easily get value out of these. And also with the map being so large, Barbecue and Chili is going to make some huge plays here. We see 2 survivors on a generator, so our goal is to stop them before they can complete it. Unable to uncloak in time to hit the Meg, she gets a well-timed stun against us. However, we don't give up that easily. While she goes through the window, let's go through the door instead and risk a lunge to get a hit in. She hops through another window and around we go, chasing her as she uses a poorly timed dead hard to begin a second shot bringing her down. Our Scourge hooks seem to be really well placed this match, so we're going to go ahead and put her on one. And what's this? We hear the pitter-patter of little survivor feet around us. Seeing scratch marks, we begin pursuit. And seeing the scratch marks and hearing the footsteps, we see that it's Nia. Let's scare her away from the hook, that way someone else might go for the save. Floods of Rage getting triggered in the middle of a chase will provide a huge advantage on our end. Throwing the hit, and in the moment we've all been waiting for, we can safely make a lunge and down her. Now to use yet another Scourge hook. With barbecue and chili proccing, we see survivors scattered in the distance, but our goal is a survivor on a generator. The plan is to sneak up and grab them off the generator so that we do not have to do an extensive chase. Hiding behind the wall and using the effect of the clapper, we should be able to sneak up and yank him off of it, but we missed. We're not perfect, and that's okay. While we chase Steve up and down this hallway, the Nia gets saved, triggering Floods of Rage. We see Steve heading towards this pallet, so let's see how this plays out. I'm sorry. Even I can't explain that one. Let's break the small place pallet and put Steve on his second hook. With Claudette trying to go for a body block, why not get in a free hit? While Steve hangs out here on this Scourge hook, let's chase after Claudette. To kinda explain this build, Barbecue and Chili will show you survivors' auras after someone is hooked, and as we can see here, Nurse's Calling allows you to see the auras of survivors that are healing. And then finally, Floods of Rage allows you to see survivors after someone is unhooked, pretty much giving you a wall hacks build. After ignoring that missed swing, let's intercept her. Down she goes before she can get to the pallet. With no Scourge hook within a reasonable distance, we have to settle for a normal one. Barbecue and Chili shows Steve running towards the survivor. So let's see if we can ambush them. Unfortunately, Steve shows Nia that we're uncloaking and she drops a pallet in front of us. This being a powerful weapon for survivors, we're gonna break it. Me personally, I like to break pallets as much as possible. For later on in the match, it makes a lot of dead zones. Opting for a speed boost instead of a drop pallet, she takes off. With her pretty much avoiding windows and there not being many pallets for her, all we have to do is just hold forward and we'll get her eventually. But here it pays off. Now, time to put her on her second hook. The chases in this game are definitely a lot more interesting than the ones in the last. With her now on a Scourge hook, Barbecue and Chili shows us Steve healing Claudette and Meg is on a generator. Let's try this little trick again. Gotcha. Now, let's put you on a Scourge hook as well. Nia and Meg are now both on their second hooks. We see Steve sprinting across the map trying to go for the saves, so let's intercept him. The uncloaking caused us to miss the timing on it, but we still managed to down him. As Nia escapes, we put Steve on his third and final hook, getting our first kill of the game. Unfortunately, this means we just lost a Scourge hook. Seeing scratch marks going towards the hook Meg, we're gonna head that way. And another missed shot for the Claudette, but we make up for it very quickly. With most of the pallets gone, all it comes down to is a simple chase. It seems she lost track of us and managed to down her. And now with Claudette taken care of, we can place her on her second hook. With Barbecue, we see one survivor on a generator, but we also see scratch marks nearby, so we're going to go ahead and focus on the one closest to us. With an injured and unnoticing Leah, let's uncloak and use our speed boost to down her. Everybody left in this game is now on death hook, so so now all we have to do is just gather them up. Oh yeah, it's all coming together. That's kill number 2. We almost had kill number 3, but Meg managed to rescue Claudette in just the nick of time. That was a very risky play, but it paid off, so good on you, Meg. Here's a pat on the back. After breaking one of the last pallets in the game and hooking ourselves, let's chase off after that. Unfortunately for Claudette, we see her healing, so we're gonna uncloak and try to get her to jump through this window. Getting the final blow. Scooping her up, now we can get kill number 3. With Claudette dead and an injured Meg running around, now it's a match for the hatch. Let's go ahead and cloak ourselves, make us harder to see, and then we could potentially use a speed boost to catch up to her if we spot her. Peekaboo. Now we just follow. After a lengthy chase, we down our final survivor for the final time. I personally think Meg did very well this game. With Meg on our final hook, we're gonna ring a victory bell. Those were good chases on everybody's part. Never underestimate the power of orating perks. They tend to give you a really big advantage. And on that note, let's take a moment to remember all those we lost in tonight's episode. The sun is starting to rise, so that will conclude tonight's episode. I was your host artist, and thank you for watching. Before you go, please remember, there's no shame in failing. The only shame is not giving things your best shot.